What's up, gamers? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to play Capitao in Rainbow Six Siege. Before we go any further, the links to my Twitch and Twitter in the description below, so make sure you go check those out. Capitao, I feel like, is a very underrated attacker in lower levels of play. You'll see in Pro League, Challenger League, basically any competitive environment, pretty much, I'd say Plateau and up, Capitao is picked a good amount because he's very, very strong. He is a 3-speed 1-armor attacker whose special ability is the combat crossbow, which basically shoots 2 smoke bolts and 2 fire bolts. And the smoke bolts are like an impact smoke grenade pretty much. And the fire bolts are basically like a Goyo shield. You shoot them, they blow up and spread fire that cause damage and kill people basically. But his guns are really good. He either has the Para, which is I use because I just like the ADS time a lot more. 48 damage, good recoil, good fire rate, really solid. Or he has the M249, which is the LMG, which is really good. People like to use that as well. It's not bad. I used to use it, but the ADS speed on it is really slow. So I just use the Para. His pistol is really good. It only has one option, but it's still really good. And either Claymore or stun grenades. I personally use stun grenades. So the only operator that can counter Capitao is a Wamai. I catch his bolts as a Wamai, so I use the stun grenades to be able to clear any Wamai disc before I shoot my fire bolts or smoke bolts, whatever it may be. So Capitao is probably going to be played by your flex role, maybe a second support, or even a hard support on coastline or a map that doesn't really require hard breach. Or if you don't want to bring a hard breach, Capitao is really good. So like I said, you'll probably be playing him either as a flex, more of a support way, or as a support player yourself. So droning is going to be very important, finding out where the defenders are, where your attackers can push, what utility is placed where. That's pretty much what Capitao's job is going to be for the prep phase and early in the round. He is a 3-speed, like I said, so I wouldn't play him as an entry frag though. Unlike Habana, you can kind of play her more like a open up the wall, run in 3-speed attacker, because Capitao really needs to be alive for his utility to be used very effectively for the planting situation, planting scenario. But let's say the side is bakery, right? We just talked about what you do in the prep phase, droning through, but let's say that eventually you get this wall open, right? This wall's open. Obviously, I can't open it. I'm Capitao. But let's say you're trying to plant right here. This is where very many teams plant, either here or here, pretty much around this counter area. So what Capitao, I feel a lot of people do incorrectly with his bolts, is, or just smokes in general, is shoot them where you are planting or shoot them on the planter. What happens then is if I'm just let's say we're planting here. The issue with smoking the planter, let's say that you're gonna plant right on that counter, right? Let's say you shoot a smoke bolt right there. Now you can't see freezer. You can't really see the double door. You can't, basically that's it. You can't see the double door. You lose visual of the double door. So unless you're holding another angle, like from this side, which even then is probably not the smartest idea, because if you have like an Echo playing defense or somebody swing out, kill the person prep, or they have intel, maybe wallbang somebody prep, or the person prep dies, however they die. Now the defenders can push up to maybe even here by the cover of your own smoke, or push up to prep window. Basically, you just lose visual, and when you're planting, visuality or just being able to see is really important. So what you want to do with your smoke bolts is place them farther, place them deeper, because now you can still see this whole site, and the defenders are blindly pushing through this smoke, and they can push into somebody playing rice bags, playing prep window, playing on the breach, maybe even playing a breach over here, whatever it may be. The defenders don't have the advantage of being able to see what's happening around them, and that makes it really strong for the attackers and puts the round of even getting the plant off successfully really important, really drastically in their favor. And then by that, they win the round most likely because you have the diffuser planted. Another thing Capitao is really strong for is clearing players off of strong positions, right? So let's say that usually there's going to be a shield about right there, watching this window area. So you can throw a flashbang. You can throw a flashbang, clear whatever utility there is. And what's really good with Capitao's bolts, okay, let's take a step back just to show what I mean, is if you shoot them on the ceiling, the flames drop down. So if you want to stop somebody from bandit tricking here, just as an example, this also works really well on Clubhouse on the CCTV wall. But either way, let's say you're trying to stop somebody from tricking this wall with bandit. You can shoot the firebolt onto the ceiling, and the flames will fall down onto the wall, and you don't have to be exposed shooting a firebolt directly down. So because you might get shot by the bandit, or maybe a Jaeger or somebody helping the bandit stop the wall. You can apply this principle of shooting the bolt onto the ceiling and having it drop down and stop the player, whether it be bandit tricking or somebody playing a shield. You can apply it from distance as well. So you shoot the bolt, it hits the ceiling, the flames drop down, and now the person can't play behind the shield. And if you're really coordinated with your team, once that fire goes off and then the player has to fall off the shield, if you have this wall open, your teammates can then push in and take control of piano. And basically, you get the advantage because you can take control of this area. And playing Pixel, this is called Pixel, is really, really strong because you can't get shot through the floor. Usually you'll have like maybe 2 ADSs right here. You'll play it with Wamai, who throws his frisbees all around everywhere. And it's just really, really strong to be able to control this area because you can control this whole room. And from this room, you push in to get freezer wall, or maybe even get this wall into bar. Then you can get access to the site and plant. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say though. Like, quickly recapping, in the prep phase, you're probably going to be droning a lot more because Capitao is played either by a support or like a support. When you go to actually use his utility, lots of it, his smokes are going to be used for planting or rotating, cutting off lines of sight that are really important to be blocking. Make sure you don't shoot the smokes onto your planter, but block off deeper lines of sight so that you have the advantage and the defenders have to push you blind. For his fire bolts, you can usually stop them to stop bandit tricking, push players off of the site or off of areas you want to control. You can shoot them at the ceiling and the flames fall down, and that's really, really strong. Especially paired with flashbangs to clear any utility canceling for his fire bolts, which is mainly going to be Wamai. Capitao bolts are also really strong because you can shoot them through drone holes, and maybe even you can shoot them through punch holes, shoot them through a bullet hole in the floor, and they're really, really flexible. It really comes down to how creative you are. Capitao is a really good operator, definitely should be picked a lot more. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to like and subscribe. I stream pretty much every day, link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and peace out, gamers.